welcome or welcome back to 4F Beauty. When will I be YouTube famous? I don't know. I really don't know. What I do know though is I have finally got a cool toned neutral palette with a pop of purple. I didn't have to pay a fortune. This is very reminiscent of the Norvina palette, but before anybody accuses them of copying it, this was out before the Norvina palette came out. It's another one of the Revolutionary Loaded palettes, £4. This one is in Visionary. I'm a vision in Visionary. It's enough of that silliness. So, if you want to see exactly how well this performs, you're in just the right place. Here comes the tutorial. Hey, welcome back from the intro. Fans on again because it's still hot. This is only on because another one of these tops that I tend to fall out the side of. So, trust me, this is only staying on long enough for me to do this filming, and then it's coming off. I haven't got any foundation on. I have concealed with Maybelline Instant Eye a anti-age eraser concealer in Ivory. Set it with Coty Airspun. Use the L'Oreal bronzer and blush, and the L'Oreal Brow Artist to do my brows. Right, so I've probably already shown you this in the intro, but I don't know yet because I haven't filmed it. But this is the palette I'm going to be using today. One of the new Revolutionary Loaded. Now, it doesn't have names, it literally just has numbers. So I will try to remember to put a key up on screen as to which colours I use. Try to remember. The reason I picked this up is £4. I've got the Iconic Division one. This is the Visionary one. And I picked this up because, well, you know I love purples, but if you take the purples out of it, what you've got is a really nice, cool toned nude palette, which I have actually been looking for quite a while, because all of the cool tone palettes tend to be warm toned. All the cool tone palettes, all of the nude palettes tend to be warm toned. This girl needs some more coffee this morning. Right, let's get you zoomed in and bung some of this on my eyes so we can see how it performs. It's currently, she said, trying to see the time, and phone is playing. Oh, that's helpful. Just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. It's not as hot today as it has been, which is why I'm actually risking putting some makeup on. Although I've set my eyes with Coty Airspun, as always, if there's a shade in a palette which is close to my skin tone or a couple of shades lighter, I do tend to go over my eye with that. I don't tend to use a primer because even though I've got oily eyelids, I find that a concealer holds it just fine. But I do find that shadows from a palette blend better on themselves. So if there is one which matches my skin tone, I will use that to go over the top. I'm currently using a Spectrum B06 brush to do that with, because there is a nice white matte in the palette. There is a creamy one as well that I could use on the diametrically opposite corner. but I'm going to go for the white one. Just to, because where I've got such deep set eyes, it's why I have such dark circles under my eyes, and my eyelids are quite dark as well. I can actually get away without putting any eyeshadow on them. It looks like I've got a nice brown eyeshadow on them, just simply because my the veins in my eye are quite close to the skin because my eyes are so deep set. But the added benefit of that is I do have a lot of space to play with here, which is great. As always, I have my colour switch for changing colours on the brush. Right, I'm going to go into one of the myriad of cool toned taupes. Not a huge amount of kick up in the pan. Just use this one here, so you can see there's not much kick up at all. I'm just going to run this through as my transition shade. I'm a little bit pink here. That's just hay fever rearing its ugly head, unfortunately. Now, because I don't have a hooded eyes, I can just follow the shape of my eyeball here. If when you look ahead you don't see all of your mobile lid, all you have to do is get a pencil brush or a thinner brush, and with your eye open just sketch where you need your crease to start. It is literally just a case of moving the crease up a bit. Now obviously that will reduce the amount of space you have to play with between here and your brows, so you may find you want to start off with a slightly smaller brush, but it still needs to be a nice loosely packed brush so that we can get a nice blend going on. Now I've had to dip into this quite a few times to build up the intensity of the colour, but I don't mind that. I'd rather have a shade that I need to build up but is then seamless, as John McClane would say, than have one like Subculture where the pigment goes on and then just won't blend out. So, how's your day been so far? Is it finally starting to cool down where you are? So I finally put the hose pipe ban in. Took them long enough. Normally we get a hose pipe ban after the first week of warm weather, living in the south of the UK. Problem is they've built so many new houses without increasing the reservoir size, so you've got all these new houses making a drain on the current amount of water available, because let's face it, pretty much every new house you buy has got a family bathroom and an ensuite and dishwasher and washing machines, etc, etc. Personally, if it was me, every new housing estate that gets built, I would insist that there was an underground reservoir underneath it, so that it could ensure there was no further drain on the water supply, but that's clearly far too sensible for Britain to think of. And yes, that was heavily laced with sarcasm. Right, I've cleaned my brush off, and I'm still going to use the same one, and I'm going to pick up a slightly deeper brown. I will be going in with the purples, but there is only one of them that's actually a matte purple, so I want to try and get some definition first with these cooler tones. Purples are the most difficult colour to create, purples and blues. They're the ones that do tend, if a shadow's going to go patchy, it will be the blue or the purple 9 times out of 10. You can see I'm just repeating here the same thing, running through the crease and in windscreen wiper, and then doing little clockwise and anti-clockwise circles, but I'm not taking this colour as high up my lid as I did the first one. Okay. And then I'm just going to buff over where the two colours meet, just so that there's no harsh line there. Because as John McClane would say, and I've referenced him twice now, it needs to be seamless, darling, seamless. Have you watched my video that I put up of the different channels that I watch. Let me know if you have, and whether you've now started following some of the people that I follow. What do you think of them? Do we have similar tastes when it comes to who we watch on YouTube? Is there somebody you think I should be watching that I've not listed? I mean, obviously I follow the big ones like Tati and Jeffrey, and not Laura and Manny so much now. I've got a bit bored with their content, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. You can see these are blending really nicely on themselves. They're not, at least they don't appear to be going on patchy at all. But then, you know, browns are. The reason most people use brown for a transition shade is because it's the colour that does tend to blend out best and easiest. So again, just buffing over where the darker one meets the lighter one. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, I'm going to pick up a pencil brush. This is the Spectrum A12. Because where my lashes naturally curl up quite a bit here, if I just try and deposit pigment at the corner of the eye, I either end up getting a gap between the lashes and the pigment, or I get the pigment in my eye. So I lay it down with a pencil brush, and I'm going to go into the only purple matte in this palette, and I'm going to just lay some pigment down in that corner. It's actually, I think I would have actually preferred this to be a little bit darker, maybe. I'll see how it blends out. And again, I'm just going to place the pigment in the crease of my eye there. Yeah, it's a shame this isn't a little bit darker, really. I'm going to go in with a brush from the Balm, Crease Love and Happiness. Again, it's loosely packed, but it's slightly more tapered than the first brush that I was using. Balls, that's gone on the floor. I'm not putting any pigment on this, I'm literally just going to buff out the colour that I've already put in. Just to just so it's not such a harsh line. Actually, it's blending out to quite a nice colour. I still would have preferred it to be a little bit darker, I will admit, but I can work with this, I can live with it, that's fine. Again, just buffing over where that meets the darker brown that I put on. Yeah, that's okay, I can live with that. I can live with that, folks. Right, I'll peek for this eye. I have had a comment on my Insta as to why I don't do the second eye off camera to speed things up a bit. That was actually a conscious decision of mine when I started my channel, because when I was first learning how to do this from YouTube tutorials, it used to wind me up when they said, right, I'm going to do the other eye off camera, because I would then have to rewind what I just watched and try and do it in reverse on the other eye. So I would rather have it in here in long speed kind of thing, because you can always, there's a widget, I think it's down in that corner, you can always increase the speed to like 1.5 or 2. So if you do blend quicker than me, which is always possible, because with my fibro I can't blend as quickly as a lot of people would do. If you do blend quicker than me, then you can skip through that, but I'd still rather have it there for the people who are just learning and are just starting, and just I'm kind of holding your hand all the way through it, really, if you feel you need that. I actually quite like that. I'm going to pick up the darker purple shimmer, just to put, I'm using the pencil brush again from Spectrum. I'm just going to pop some of this under that lower lash line and work that along. I'm not sure I like that. I might go over it in a minute with some brown. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I do like it. A little bit of fallout there, but I think that was just where I hadn't tapped the brush off. And now I'm going to go into the lilac shimmer and just do the inner part there and drag it into that deeper one, because you know this is a daytime look. I don't want to have the dark colour going right into the corner of my eye there. So, plus I want to try out as many of these different shades as I can, particularly the ones which are the most difficult colours to create. Just sort of smudge that out a little bit like that, using that lighter lilac just to soften. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Right, now I'm going to get a flat packer style brush. I'm initially going to pick it up on a dry brush. I'm going to go into the pink that's in here and just lay this on the 2/3 of the lid that doesn't have any colour on it yet. And that's actually gone on quite nicely, considering it's gone on dry and there's no extra primer there, because obviously I'd set it. I haven't put any, I didn't cut the crease, so there's no extra concealer there for it to grab to. That's quite nice actually for a daytime look. I will go over it in a minute with a wet brush just to see whether it, you know, how much extra boomph we can get from it. Because you know me, I like to shine. I mean, you can see there is a, yeah, there's certainly some reflect going on there. So let's pick some up on the brush, give it a spray. I'm going to use this Obsession Pigment Boost. You can use any setting spray or water, or as long as it's clean water, obviously. I'm just going to see. Oh yeah, that from where I'm sitting, that looks like it's intensifying it quite a tad actually. Yes, I quite like that. So I'm going to repeat that on the other eye. That really does. I mean, shimmers are hard to make a bad formula on, but that's really pretty. I am liking that a lot. I go back in with that balm brush and just pick up a wee bit of the purple matte that I used before. I'm just going to gently buff that corner just where it meets the shimmer, and again through the crease, because obviously I didn't cut the crease, so I want a slightly softer look. So So again, same this side, just buff over the edges to soften where it meets. And again, just fluff it through the crease a little bit too. I quite like that. Right, I'm going to pause you. I'm going to go and hunt for that brush that I just dropped, and I'm going to put eyeliner and mascara on, and I will be back. Don't go anywhere now. Hey, I'm back. I use this Lottie liner. I'll see you in a minute, because it's got at one end a little treble clef stamp, but I've got a lot of these with little stamps on. You can see there's a little bit of smudging each side, because the problem with this one is when you stamp it, you end up getting that round the side. Helpful. Just thought I'd explain in case you were wondering what the hell was at the end of my liner today. Highlight is a combination of Becca Opal, and I got a little mini, but it still looks like one of the little flying saucers, which made me super happy. It's a little mini version. How cute is that? But that's ever so slightly too dark for my skin, so I do have to put a lighter one over the top. I went for this NYX Duochrome in Snow Rose, which, if you couldn't get your hands on Jeffrey's Crystal Ball from summer 2017, the chrome ones, this is as close a match as I've managed to find so far. Lipstick is one of these new Revolution Pro bullet lipsticks. Pro Supreme lipstick in shade Vindicator. So I've got Visionary and Vindicator. It's all the V's today. What can I say, folks? So, do I like this palette? Yeah, I do. Performed just as well as all the other ones do. It was £4. I finally got a cool neutral palette without having to spend a fortune, and it's got the added bonus of having a couple of purples in it, so that's me as a happy girly. So, I hope you found this helpful, fun, interesting. If you did, it'd be great if you could hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. Once you subscribe, please hit that bell, and once you hit the bell, make sure you choose all notifications, not just some. All that remains for me to say is stay fabulous, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.